Logic Pro for iPad 3 and Logic Pro 12 for Mac are here, and they bring with them loads of exciting new features. Here's everything you need to know. Some of these new features are coming to both the Mac and iPad versions of Logic, while some are specific to each platform. You can use the timestamps below to skip around to the stuff you're actually interested in. A brand new AI-powered session player, the Synth Player, arrives on both Mac and iPad with these new updates. You might be a bit confused when opening a new project after updating to find no Synth Player present in the Create a New Track menu. You'll only find the pre-existing drummer, bass and keyboard session players. Well, you'll actually find the new Synth Player options inside other session players menus. The Synth Chord Player is in the keyboard session players menus, and the Synth Bass Player is in, well, the bass session players menus. Now, when you open the keyboard session player options, there is now a dedicated synth section, which includes the previously available simple pad preset, as well as modulated pad and rhythmic chords options. The simple pad preset remains largely unchanged, but the modulated pad and rhythmic chord presets add additional tabs that give you a lot more control. In rhythmic chords, there are the same main, details and manual tabs found in other keyboard presets, alongside this new LFO tab. Here you can select from 4 different oscillator waveforms, and you can manually adjust them below. There are rate and amount controls to the right, and complexity and intensity sliders to the left. And in modulated pad, you have main, details, LFO and manual tabs, plus an envelope tab, where you can select different envelope patterns, adjust attack, hold and decay settings, either numerically or by tapping/clicking on the points below. You have additional shift start, align and invert controls to the right. And envelope-specific complexity and amount sliders on the left. The bass synth player, which can be found in the bass session player menu, works in the same way and has the same options, though it also has a slides tab, where you can add tune slides to their performance using the controls. Like all of Logic's session players, you're not limited to Logic's stock instruments when using the Synth Player. You can load up any third-party AU-V3 instrument apps you want on iPad or AU instrument apps on Mac. Or even hardware synths now if you have one available. It's always great to have more session player options, especially when coupled with the next new feature. Back in 2024, the chord track came to both Logic Pro for Mac and Logic Pro for iPad. This allows users to define chord progressions in the global tracks menu, which session players would then automatically follow. It's a powerful tool, but can be a bit tricky to set up, especially for those not familiar with music theory. Chord ID makes the process of creating a chord track really simple. In this project, I have some MIDI tracks already recorded with no chord track active or filled in. If I add a session player track, say a new synth player track, it'll populate it with regions, but it will just play back default chords that don't fit in with the rest of the project. Previously, I could use Chord Analyzer, for example, to find out the chords and then painstakingly enter them manually into the chord track. Now, all I have to do is Control-click on the region on Mac or just tap on it on iPad, select Chords from the menu, and then select Apply Region Chords to Chord Track. Now the region's chords will populate the chord track and the session player will automatically follow them. It's properly incredible stuff, and it doesn't just work with MIDI. I have a hastily recorded voice note here where I've captured some guitar chords. If I bring that voice note into Logic, I can follow the same steps and have Logic populate the chord track with the chords from my recording, meaning I can quickly add session players to the project and build up the bones of the song idea. It's honestly magic. It might not seem like much, but the new sound library rework in Logic Pro for Mac is a massive quality of life improvement. Instead of sorting instruments, patterns, kits and loops from a fairly drab menu that told users nothing about what they were loading up, Mac users can now access the same sound library that Logic Pro for iPad users have had access to since the app launched. The layout and art is great, and being able to see and hear what's included in each pack before you download it is useful too. If you want to go a bit deeper than that and, say, find out a bit more about Tosin Abasi or Corey Wong, for example, some of these packs have behind-the-scenes videos built in that you can watch from inside the library browser itself.
Corey Wong. A lot of people know me as a guitar player for the band Wolfpack.
This new sound library also makes it easier to manage what packs you have installed. Using the Manage menu, you can pick and choose what you want to install and or delete, all from one menu, which is a whole lot easier than diving into Finder menus and deleting sounds manually. A long-standing feature in Logic Pro for Mac, quick swipe comping, has been added to Logic Pro for iPad with this update. This allows users to quickly swap between different sections of multiple takes in a stack. This automatically creates crossfades too, which is excellent news as they're quite fiddly to set up manually on iPad. And you can even save multiple comps and switch among them to pick your favourite or create alternatives to add a wee bit of variety across your project. So for example, in this demo project, if I tap on this arrow on this guitar region, it reveals the two takes that have been combined to create this composite take. I can drag across an unselected part of the takes to change what's included in the composite take above. It's quick, easy, and definitely a really useful addition to the app. Apple have introduced a new way to search for loops in Logic Pro for iPad. In the Loop browser, you can search for loops using natural, more general language. For example, if I type in nostalgic synth and tap on this new Sounds Like button, Logic will present me with loops and patches that fit that description. I can also search for similar sounding loops using audio search. If I drag a loop from the browser up to the search area, similar sounding loops will be displayed in search results. Really handy, especially as there are now thousands of loops included with Logic, and honestly, who can be bothered searching through all of that? One of the biggest complaints that Logic Pro for iPad users have had since launch is how some of its stock plugins controls are laid out. This has been remedied somewhat in this new update. Some plugins now have their knobs, dials and controls grouped into separate tabs. This vintage electric piano instrument, for example, now has main, effects and details tabs. You can edit this further by tapping here and selecting adaptive layout. Now the controls will dynamically resize depending on how you have your windows set up. This is a definite improvement, and here's hoping they expand this to all of Logic Pro's stock plugins where applicable in the future. There are loads of bug fixes and other wee features hidden away in Logic Pro 12 and Logic Pro for iPad 3's update notes, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss me go through those with a fine-tooth comb in a later video. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, I really appreciate it and it helps more people see it. And watch this video next to find out if Apple's Creator Studio is for you.